And a very good Saturday morning, afternoon, evening. This is Whenever Saturday. I am your host, Andy Pollack. Whenever Saturday is brought to you in part by our sponsor, ProtonVPN. Now, we talk about how expensive it is to be a WWE fan. Come on. What ESPN's charging $20-something if you haven't cut the cord or you don't have a sports provider that gives you access. You're also paying what? Other spending fee to get USA Network on Friday or figuring on how to get the CW on Tuesday, and you're still paying for Netflix. But what if I told you you could watch all WWE content on Netflix? And that is where today's sponsor, ProtonVPN, comes in. For just $9.99 a month, you get reliable, high-speed internet. You can connect up to 10 devices a month, right? That's what you can do. 1,500 servers in 120 countries. Stream your favorite TV shows and movies. Block ads, trackers, and malware. Priority support in live chat. And, yes, still the same $9.99 a month. Now, as of now, from what I was seeing right here, for new users, they are now offering 1 year for $47. So think about taking advantage of this deal because Saturday night's main event will be streaming on Netflix next week, from what I was told. Also stream live NXT Tuesday nights, SmackDown on Fridays, and, of course, the Royal Rumble taking place in Saudi Arabia on January 31st. Visit ProtonVPN.com. Now, I want to discuss next couple of episodes here. So, because of the Royal Rumble, we will not be doing a Whenever Saturday on the 31st. I want to strictly focus on the Royal Rumble because the start time will be at 2 p.m. Okay, so keep that in mind. You are going to watch the Royal Rumble 2 p.m. on Saturday, January 31st, which will be 2 weeks from today. And we know Cody Rhodes is already declared. I guess he's going to go through the Royal Rumble to try to get back at Drew McIntyre or something. Who knows? What was I going to say? Right. So we'll do an episode. We're doing an episode right now. We're going to do one next week to preview the championship games. I figured also, because think about it, why do I need to blabber on about the Super Bowl matchup? You know, might as well just do it on the NFL. Right. Might as well just do it like the day before the Super Bowl. That way I'm all hyped up. Two teams, and we'll do the whenever. Right, we'll do that. Do any plays. I still got my old Madden, so we can figure out how to get the current rosters or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, episode today. There will be an episode next week previewing the championship games in football, and hopefully we will do an episode February 7th, which would be the goal at this point. So, yes, so we're going to talk this week. We're going to preview the divisional games, 2 today, 2 tomorrow. We'll preview the national championship college football game between Indiana and Miami. And I haven't any plays going up for that tomorrow, as I did play that on college football on the PS5. And, yes, we're going to start today. And I'm going to hammer down on the Dodgers and Rob Manfred. So that's what we're going to start off with today. I'm telling you right now, I've been saying this for a while. I've been saying it now for who knows how long. But I'm telling you right now, the Dodgers are killing MLB. They are killing MLB. So, I mean, look at the Dodgers. And if you Google, I'm on my, as you know, I'm recording this on my computer right now. Let me look up the word MLB salary cap on Google. Okay? Right? So, if you Google the question, what is the MLB salary cap? Yes. Major League Baseball has no salary cap. Instead, implements a luxury tax only. What? Oh, and then here's an op-ed from Yahoo Sports. This is literally, this is what I'm Googling when I look up MLB salary cap. Yahoo Sports, quote, "It's time for a salary cap in Major League Baseball." And I agree with this. And I even told Matt Camper this the other day. We were talking about it. It is seriously time for a salary cap in Major League Baseball. You tell me, how the hell are the Dodgers allowed to spend all this money? All right? What, they get Freddie Freeman? They trade for Mookie Betts? They get Shohei Ohtani? They get Yamamoto? They get, who else do they get? Right, now they got Tucker. I mean, what the hell are they doing? Why are they allowed to spend all this money? Because, again, there's no restrictions. And Rob Manfred allows this to happen. Let me ask you this. Okay? The last time we went into a lockout, okay? The last time I think we went into a lockout was 2021, I think. Was it 2021? Right, it was 2021. Remember, it was like 3 months, okay? So it was like December of 2021. Went until the earlier part of March, right? Delayed the start of spring training. So it did savage the 162-game season, right? So thankfully that happened. And we all know the rest is history in 2022. We all remember how that ended up as Met fans, huh? The frickin' Padres beat us. Oh, my God. And we all know what happened. The Astros cheated their way again to another World Series. And, oh, man, let me tell you. It's bad enough the Astros ruined baseball with their cheating scandal, right? Now the Dodgers are ruining it. Because think about it. They're the ones spending all this money. They're the ones, they're allowed to do whatever the hell they want. They're allowed to just spend. Tax. That's all we do because we're the Dodgers. And you know, the Mets were trying to actually sign Kyle Tucker. They were trying to. But the Dodgers just said, nope. The Dodgers just said, let's just walk in and ruin it for the Met fans again. Oh, boy, imagine how, you know, you got... I'll say this about Juan Soto. At least he didn't go to the evil empire in Los Angeles. Think about that. Said he might... They're dealing with this misery of the Mets. Ugh. Now, somehow in some way, the Mets have made it up to us as of me recording this video. So we get Bo Bichette, an infielder, a 3-year contract, okay? At least we keep this guy until 2030. We're going to keep this guy until 2030 at least. And by then, what will happen? I don't know. But I'll say this. At least we got somebody that can hit a lot of runs to bat in, right? The RBI count was like, what, 98 for this guy? And now he only hit 15 home runs. But he can hit. He can hit. That's the main thing. He can hit. Now the thing is, he might play third base. They're figuring out what to do with Brett Beatty. They don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, we got to be patient with this club, because right now the infield's gonna be Bichette, Lindor, Simeon, and then Polanco. I believe that'll be our infield, unless I don't know. I keep seeing rumors that they might want to let Beatty play first. Vientos might play first, because Vientos is still a Met. As of now, I believe Mark Vientos is still a Met. Yeah, he's still a Met, so... the problem is it's the outfield. And the problem is, the reason why I was so antsy for them to get Tucker was so that way we could at least figure out how to deal with this outfield going forward. Now that Brandon Nimmo went to the Rangers and we got Marcus Simeon playing second base. So, I don't know. Now, supposedly, they're still talking to Cody Bellinger. So he might not go back to the Yankees. He's actually thinking about coming to the Mets. And we'll see. We'll see. But we got to at least do something about this outfield. Are the Mets going to give us a season to maybe pay attention to? Maybe. I mean, they're obviously not winning the division. We obviously know the Phillies and the Dodgers are both going to win 100 games. I'm assuming both will. Because they're what? They're more talented. They have the better rosters. Especially the Dodgers get to spend so much money. But I'm warning you right now. We are going to a lockout. I'm warning you all right now. Because there's no salary cap, we are going to a lockout. So if it takes a cancellation of one entire season, which I think that's where we're going here. I'm calling it right now. I don't think there will be a 2027 season. Mark my words on this. We've had one league cancel a whole season, and that was the NHL. All right? It has happened before. So don't tell me all this crap that, they're going to figure it out. They're going to settle this. They're going to do this or that. They're going to say, we'll figure out how to put a salary cap in. Nah, they're not. So don't tell me that. We are going to a lockout. If we don't go to a lockout in 2027, or unless somehow the salary cap thing is figured out, I don't see a 162 game season being played. Because I know what's going to happen. I think what's going to happen is when we all see the Dodgers celebrating their dynasty, which most likely that's what's going to happen, they'll beat some other American League team again. You don't know who that American League team will be. There'll be somebody in the American League, right? They'll beat that team. They'll laugh at that team. Ha ha, we won 3 straight championships. And then guess what? What's going to happen? Lockout will happen. Okay? And we're going to be in a predicament where, again, everybody's going to realize that this is the reason why we're not going to have a season in 2027. Or we might not get 162 games. It might be less. Who knows? Right? Because certainly Rob Manfred could care less. Rob Manfred really has let the wild, wild west of Major League Baseball occur. That's what's killing the sport. You know? Do whatever you want. Spend whatever you want. Sign whatever you want. Oh my goodness. When is this going to end? You know? And don't tell me, and by the way, about Alonso, I heard rumors that Pete Alonso and David Stearns were not getting along. Now, if that was the case, maybe that's the reason why Pete just said, you know what, I'll take my money and just go to the Orioles. Maybe, who knows? But the fact of the matter is, you let Edwin Diaz go to the Dodgers? Oh my goodness. You couldn't up the price for Edwin Diaz and let the Dodgers sign him? I mean, come on. What a joke. What a joke. I mean, here's how the Mets rotation is going to look, okay? You're going to have McLean pitch opening day against Paul Skeens. So it's going to be Pirates-Mets, right? You have Tong Sproat. As of now, I keep hearing rumors they might want to bring back Griffin Canning, which I hope they do, because we need another pitcher. Because let me tell you this. Clay Holmes should be in the bullpen. Really, come on. Clay Holmes is not a starting pitcher. He can merely pitch 4 to 5 innings. We need guys that can pitch 5 to 6 innings a game. Now, if you ask for 7 innings, then that's in today's baseball, that's a little bit too much to ask. Because, remember, David Peterson pitched a complete game. You know how rare that is now? For a pitcher to pitch a complete game? That doesn't happen as much as it used to anymore. Because all these teams believe in their bullpens. I mean, I don't know. I mean, do I want to be patient with Luke Weaver as the setup guy and Devin Williams as the closer? I don't know. Do I want to be patient? I don't know. You mean to tell me we give Devin Williams a 3-year, $51 million contract if we couldn't pay Edwin Diaz more money? Give me a break. I mean, my goodness. I mean, baseball is such a humanitarian disaster right now. And this is what's going to lead to that lockout in 2027. So, what else can I say? I mean, baseball is such a joke. It really, really is. Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, let's just strictly go back to the football. So I guess what we'll do is we'll recap last week's games, and then we'll go to the matchups for today and just give my predictions. So, yeah. Now, as far as how I did last week, I believe I went 3-2. I can't remember. I know I did pick the Rams last week. So, you know what? Let's just recap the games. That way I don't go crazy here. All right. So, first things first. First game last Saturday. That was great between the Rams and the Panthers. It could have went either way. High scoring. Bryce Young looked great. So did Matthew Stafford. The late field goal by the Rams secured it. The problem was the last drive for the Panthers. They had a shot to tie the game. And they had all their timeouts. And I was like, what? Why aren't they running it? They kept throwing it and throwing it and throwing it in their last possession of the game. And that's what pretty much cost the Panthers a chance to tie it. So, yeah, the Rams won. Remember, Matthew Stafford is experienced. And again, remember, he has won a Super Bowl before. So, remember, the Panthers were 8-9 and they still won the division. The NFC South is such a joke. It really, really was. Now, the Bears-Packers game. Oh my goodness. Crazy to think how the Packers on the road at halftime in Chicago had a huge lead against the Bears. It was 21-3, right? And then all of a sudden, the second half, the Packers just looked completely flat. I was like, what? Why does Jordan Love keep making all these bad throws? And then that's what led the Bears to come back and just, wow. I mean, from what I was seeing on Amazon Prime last Saturday, that stadium was just shaking. That was like, wow. Okay. So, that was another great game. Bills, Jaguars. Let's recap the Sunday games from last week. Could have went either way. Trevor Lawrence looked good. So did Josh Allen. But the problem was Cook, the running back. He needs to do better today against Denver. So I'll just say that. But late game touchdown. Josh Allen pushed his body into the end zone. So that happened. And I'll say this about Trevor Lawrence. Even though he did look okay, the interceptions really cost the Jaguars. So, a lot of interceptions thrown by Trevor Lawrence. Remember this, the Jaguars were on an 8-game win streak heading into that game last week. So, yeah, that was an interesting ending, but, yeah. Now, as far as the 49ers-Eagles game, A.J. Brown was the factor why the Eagles lost bad game last week. And the fact that George Kittle, the tight end for the 49ers last week, got injured. I don't know how they find a way to win that game, but they just did. So, whatever. But, yeah, the Eagles fans are really harsh towards A.J. Brown. It's like they want him off the team. Can I blame them? I mean, yeah, I get where they're coming from. Player makes a lot of mistakes, yeah. Now, as far as the Patriot-Charger game, that game was boring. That game was boring. I mean, what happened? I thought it was going to be a high-scoring game. Justin Herbert looked flat for the Chargers last week. And, you know, in a sense, it was like the Patriots were just letting themselves... Somehow, someway, the Patriots just should have kept scoring on the Chargers, but they didn't. So, they did get a touchdown late in the game, which sealed it up, but... yeah, what can you say about that? And then the Monday night game. Now, the Monday night game was interesting at first. Only because, what? It was 7-6 most of the game. And then the Steelers were making mistakes. Aaron Rodgers pretty much was showing his age. And, yeah. And then look what happened. The day after, Mike Tomlin faced the music. And he said, goodbye. It's been a fun ride with y'all Steeler fans. I'm out. Aaron Rodgers is likely going to retire. I'm surprised he hasn't even announced his retirement yet. So 30-6 was the final in that game. Just wow. All right, so let's just quickly go over the scores from last week so that we can all document this. So it was 34-31 Rams over the Panthers. 31-27 Bears over the Packers. 27-24 Bills over the Jaguars. 23-19 49ers over the Eagles. 16-3 Patriots over the Chargers. And then 30-6 Houston Texans over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, let's get into today's matchups and how I feel about them. So the major note for today is the fact that both the 1 seeds in the AFC and the NFC will be playing. So that's the major factor for today. So, first matchup we got is the Broncos taking on the Bills in Denver. As of now, they're only giving the Broncos a 1.5 favorite. Now, that's an interesting way of looking at the spread for today's game here. So, the way I look at this game today, I'm like, could go either way. But I'm still riding high on the Bills to make the playoffs. It's a 1.5 favorite for Denver today. I don't know. I think it could come down to a field goal. And I think the Bills could get that late field goal. It could happen. You know? Now, let me say this. I think this is like the second time or the third time that the Broncos have played a mid-Saturday afternoon, middle of the day Saturday afternoon game in Denver for an AFC Divisional Round playoff. Because I remember that one game a couple years ago, the Ravens were on that Super Bowl run. It was a Saturday afternoon game in 2013. And that was the game where it went to overtime. And Justin Tucker kicked the game-winning field goal for the Ravens. So, yeah, it's kind of common. We always used to laugh at the Houston Texans always getting their Saturday afternoon game, like in the wild card round. But that didn't happen this time around. Okay, so I'm taking Buffalo. I'll take the 1.5 over. I think they will get the game-winning field goal, probably. I don't know. I'm not riding high on the Broncos. They don't look like a team that should be even in the playoffs. They got some pure luck wins. What? Because the Chiefs had a bad year? Ugh. Boy, the AFC West is such a joke. Ugh. So taking Buffalo. They should be playing for a chance to go to the Super Bowl next week, either in Houston or in New England. So we'll get to that game in just a second. So 4:30 kickoff. That game will be on CBS, and that game will be streaming on Paramount Plus. Now, the night game in Seattle. 49ers taking on the Seahawks. Now, supposedly, Sam Darnold is questionable. We don't know if he's playing tonight. So Drew Lock might be playing for the Seahawks. I don't know how that's going to end up because I believe he has... I don't think he's ever played a playoff game. So just for discussion's sake, I'm going to assume Darnold's going to play today. Because remember, Seattle gets very loud. You got the 12th man. Whipping! 12th man! So, right now they're giving Seattle a Seattle 7.5. I like the Seahawks at home today. That will be an 8 o'clock kickoff, and that will be on Fox and streaming on Fox 1. Now, tomorrow's games. Houston Texans taking on the New England Patriots, 3 p.m. on ABC, ESPN, and streaming on the ESPN app. So, right now they are giving New England a 3.5. It could go either way, but I do like the Patriots at home tomorrow. I like their chances. Should be a fun game. I think it will be close, but I do believe that the Patriots can win. And listen, if you're a Bills fan, you are rooting for New England tomorrow. You are rooting for New England if you do beat Denver today. Because remember that game when the Bills went to Foxborough? They were down at halftime and then they came back. So if you're rooting on Sunday afternoon and the Bills make it to the AFC Championship, you're rooting for New England. All right? So keep that in mind. So I'm going to take the 3.5. I like the Patriots for tomorrow. And then lastly, Rams-Bears. Now, here's something crazy in this game for tomorrow. Now, tomorrow in Chicago. Now, this is going to be a 6:30 p.m. kickoff, right? The game will be on NBC. It'll be streaming on Peacock, right? So, you know. Now, get this. Supposedly, it's going to be 20-something degrees. With the wind, it'll make it feel a little bit colder, right? Right? Now, get this. The temperature is going to dramatically drop in Chicago. Supposed to be like 8 degrees Monday morning. It'll be bone cold in Chicago. But yeah, they're giving the Rams a 4.5 favorite on the road. I think it will come down to a field goal. Might, I don't know, or a late game score tomorrow night. But since this is the Rams we're talking about, I like the Rams on the road. I'm sorry. I know the Bears are in this situation where, yeah, they're the 2 seed, and I get all that. But think about this. Think about how interesting the scenario is when you look at the seeding in the NFC. If the Rams win tomorrow night, and let's say things get interesting where the 49ers beat the Seahawks later tonight, that game is going to be at SoFi Stadium next week. Yeah. Because the Rams are the 5th seed. But yeah, I'm taking the Rams. I think we might be heading for a Rams-Seahawks rematch. Or 49ers-Rams rematch next week, probably. One team from California, I don't know. Depends. We'll see how it goes, but I'm going to take the Rams for discussion's sake, only because it's Matthew Stafford, only because it's Sean McVay and the whole crew. This is an experienced team. I like the Rams on the road, so I'm going to take the 4.5. So my picks are Buffalo, 1.5. I'm going to take the 7 points for Seattle tonight. Tomorrow, I'm going to take the 3.5 for the Patriots. And I'm going to take the 4 points for the Rams. So those are my picks. Hope I'm right. And we'll recap the games next week. And then again, probably the day before the Super Bowl on February 7th, we will get into that. So now, to wrap up this episode for today, we're going to get into the college football championship game. Yes. Now, I'll say this. I am so happy Dante Moore is staying in school. Thank goodness. He needed another year of school. He's not NFL ready. So when you think about how he's being smart about this, that's a good decision. You get embarrassed by Indiana on national TV, ESPN. All right. Now, the thing with the QB situation at Oregon, they got a lot of QBs on the roster. Bryson Beaver, my bad, transfer portal. So this is going to be very interesting. Right now, I'm looking at the Ducks Wire thing, right? Just trying to see what I can do here. But Dante Moore might have a problem when it comes to figuring out where is he going to go. What's he going to do? Yeah, Dylan Raiola, right? So he might be competing for the starting job next season. And this is what this kid needs. He needs to learn what competition is like, even if it's for your job. Okay? He's only 21. You really think the Jets were going to get a 21-year-old quarterback? I mean, give me a break. My computer's freezing up. That's just great because this website is taking up way too much CPU. See, when I'm looking at the situation with Ole Miss, Trinidad James was the other quarterback the Jets are thinking of getting. Oh my God. I mean, what is going on here? Supposedly now, Trinidad's thinking of suing the NCAA for eligibility? What? Yeah, I'm sorry if my camera froze there for a second. Because the problem is, again, when you load a website that requires a lot of data, that's what happens on this computer. And I'm using my NVIDIA graphics card. So, yeah. Apparently, I don't even think Trinidad wants to go to the NFL next season. Now, supposedly, Ty Simpson, the Alabama QB, he's thinking of going to the NFL. All right, he's a senior, right? That makes sense. No, Trinidad's a senior, right? Ty's a junior. So, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going on Fox Sports right now, and they're claiming that, you look at Ty Simpson. Again, I'm not really too sure about that. Unless Carson Beck, the Miami QB, he could be available. Because I'm thinking if Carson somehow wins that third championship Monday night, we'll get into the reason why I think he can. Think about it. Maybe Carson Beck could be available for the Jets. Maybe John Matter, the Oklahoma QB, might be available. Maybe Drew Howard, the Penn State QB. You got to take someone. Anyone. They need a quarterback. Because the Jets are in this predicament where, what are they going to do? Now, could they get a veteran? Could they bring another veteran in? I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at the veterans right now. Daniel Jones? Really? I mean, the Colts are going to try to bring him back. You know that's going to happen, right? The Colts are going to be so desperate to bring back Daniel Jones. Russell Wilson? Do I really want to see Russell Wilson in a Jets jersey? Ugh. Now, Here's what I like about a couple of the younger backup QBs that are available. Okay? Now, Carson Wentz is available. All right. I would maybe think about taking him. Maybe, right? Maybe you bring him in. Trey Lance, I would see. Yeah, maybe you bring him in. Gardner Minshew, another backup QB, I would love to bring in. You know who the Jets could bring in? Malik Willis. So you got to bring in a veteran. The Jets have to do something, anything. I'm sick and tired of this team not making the playoffs. I have not seen the Jets made the playoffs since I was in high school. Last game was when the Jets were in Pittsburgh and they lost to the Steelers. It was the Rex Ryan era where they went to 2 straight AFC Championship games. The last time the Jets were even close to making the playoffs, the 2015 season, where it was Todd Bowles' first year, right? That was the 1 year where Ryan Fitzpatrick came in. The Jets gave us a season, and they were still in week 17. And the rest is history. We know Fitzpatrick stunk. He threw the interceptions. The Steelers did their Steelers things. And yeah, I'm not going to get into that. So, listen, the pain continues with the Jets. So anyhow, let's just focus on the championship game on Monday night to wrap up this episode. I've gotten way too off topic already. So anyhow, the line for Monday night is 8.5 for Indiana. Now, the feel-good story for Indiana has been, again, their quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, who's likely going to end up being the number 1 pick in the draft. He's going to likely end up going to Vegas and playing for the Raiders. And which I told you all, his face is probably going to be all over the casino signs in Las Vegas on the Strip, knowing he's going to hit the freaking jackpot, right? I could see Mike Tomlin going to Vegas because the Raiders love hiring all these veteran coaches, right? Look what they did to Pete Carroll, and they tossed him out, right? So, look, 8.5 for the Hoosiers. Listen, this is a Miami Hurricanes home game. You know the Miami fans are going to show up. Now, again, I think we talked about this last week, and let's get into the fact that, I mean, what the hell? Why are they charging these ridiculous prices to get in to see the game tomorrow? $3,000? What the hell? I'm going to show you. Oh, and it gets even much worse. $4,000 on TickPick right now. Just to get into the game of Hard Rock on Monday. What the hell? And then now, supposedly, President Trump is supposed to be attending the game on Monday. Oh, that's going to be fun. Because, right, it's right at the top of Mar-a-Lago. Of course, he's going to attend it. Because I know this weekend he's supposed to be spending the weekend in Mar-a-Lago, and that's why he's attending the game Monday night, and then he's going to fly back to Washington after the game and go back to the White House. So, look, Carson Beck, the Miami QB. Now, remember this, okay? Carson Beck, who, you got to remember, Carson, the QB, has won 2 championships with the Bulldogs in Georgia, okay? So he knows the pressure of these big type of games. If you like the 8.5 favorite for Indiana on Monday night, you know what I think the probability of... Everybody talks about the running back for Miami, Mark Fletcher. Okay, he's good. Miami does have a good roster of these running backs. Now, as far as Indiana's running back is concerned, you got Roman Hemby. So I don't know. I mean, the defenses are going to have to, the rush defenses are going to have to wake up in this game. But I've been riding high on Miami for a while. It dates back to the Notre Dame game on Labor Day weekend a couple months ago. I was into that game, and it could have went either way, but if Miami had lost that game, imagine the polar opposite where Notre Dame could have been in the college football playoffs again. Because remember, Notre Dame was in the championship game last year against Ohio State. So, I'm going to get a lot of flack for saying this. You can make me own up to it next week, whenever next week's episode, whenever. I mean, I'll recap the game next week, and I'll recap the NFL stuff. And if there's any news about Bellinger next week to the Mets, I'm going to react to that. Because I'm happy to Bo Bichette again. We talked about that earlier. So Bo is a Met. Yay, Bo Bichette's a Met. So I'll wrap up my thoughts on that in just a second. Taking Miami. I like the Canes. They're at home. The fans will show up some way or somehow. They'll find a way to sneak into the game at Hard Rock. So I like the Canes. It would be their first championship since 2001. The Hoosiers have never won a championship. I believe, if I am correct, and I'm going to go on Wikipedia right now and look this up. Looking it up right now. Right. They've won the Big Ten, and it dates back to 1967, right? So they've never won a championship. Wow. That's amazing. That is amazing how long their football program has been around, and they've never won a championship. That's amazing. That really is amazing. So if Indiana can win, that'll be something, but we'll see on Monday night. We'll see. So, before I wrap this up, Bo Bichette and Met, am I happy about it? Yep. Like I said, he can hit. He can do this and that, whatever. Hopefully, by the next episode next week, maybe Cody Bellinger will be a Met, and maybe the outfield can be figured out. The Mets have to do something to give us a season. Because, as I said, the Dodgers and the Phillies are going to win 100 games, and I don't know. And before I wrap this up, I want to say this. I am so disgusted today with the Islanders, because the Islanders and the Bills, the Islanders-Flames game in Calgary is at 3:30 today. That's going to be fun. Whoopee! So I'm going to have to multi-screen and figure out how I'm going to watch the game today. That'll be fun, right? I'll figure it out. Andy always figures things out. Yeah. Alright. So that's pretty much it. If you do get Monday off for the MLK holiday, which I'm one of the lucky ones, enjoy the rest of the holiday weekend. We'll have any plays up tomorrow. Stay tuned for more. Maybe there'll be a couple more YouTube shorts that I'm going to probably end up doing. I'll probably react to the Islander game later tonight, knowing me, because I always do. Any other urgent things that we'll bring up, we'll do it on YouTube shorts. So check out the YouTube shorts, because I'm telling you right now, YouTube shorts are going to be the future of this platform. They've already made an impact. My mom is constantly watching YouTube shorts on her YouTube account. She doesn't watch Andy's Randomness, trust me. My mom doesn't watch this channel. So anyhow, that's it. Enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. Enjoy the 4 playoff NFL games. Enjoy the Monday night game between Miami and Indiana. I will talk to you all next week. God bless America. Until the next one, please take care.